Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about rose quartz. This is a really large rose quartz. So rose quartz, stone of love, stone of gratitude, stone of, grace, confidence, very delicate, feminine energy, right? So this crystal, lots to unpack with this crystal, but rose quartz for me really just means putting myself as a priority, really putting myself on the front burner versus the back burner, right? And making sure that I'm heard, making sure that my wishes and my desires are fulfilled, because so many times, right, we put other people before us, we put other circumstances before our purpose, and really thinking about like what it is that you want versus what it is that you think you want because you want someone's approval or you want to please someone. When I think about rose quartz too, I think about being a people pleaser and combating being a people pleaser, really. Because being a people pleaser, right, you're always putting people before you, right? And, for me, when I meditate with rose quartz, I think about like, well, what did I do today that was really, in my old people pleasing ways? Was I just trying to get liked and just be approved and oh, I want them to really like me, because confidence, being confident and putting yourself not on a pedestal, but just making sure that like you're important. Like, who's more important than yourself? If you think about it, like, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of the ones that you love. You can't provide to society. You can't make an impact on others, which that's really what I'm about. Like, it's an addictive feeling for me, and it's what I'm addicted to, and it's what I love making an impact. I love being the person that people can see and think like, wow, like, you know what, you made me think a certain way about myself, or you made me think about a certain way about life, and helped me, like, that to me is an addictive feeling. And when you take care of yourself, it feels really good, but when you give to others, it also is giving to yourself, because it's like that saying, when you're kind to others, you're also kind to yourself, So, like, for rose quartz in particular, I always use another affirmation, which is, I allow the gifts of the universe to pour into me. I overflow with irresistible confidence. It's about loving yourself, self-love. Like, for me, like, something that I really love to do, and that's such an indulgence, but it's not even a big deal. It's just like making a fresh juice, like literally making a fresh juice and not knowing what time it is. Like, that to me is like indulgence, because whenever I think like, oh man, like I'm on a schedule, like at least for me, like when I used to work at these toxic jobs, like these jobs, I used to be like, oh, I'm working from 10 to 6 today, and then tomorrow I'm working from, and I just felt like I was a slave to time, and I was like, obviously, like, trading my time for money. So I was just, like a slave to money and a slave to time. And I just, I associated like, the mornings with like waking up super early for work, and then I didn't like the mornings, so like you associate like certain times of day with certain activities that you do. So like for me, something that's really indulgent is not even knowing if it's 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, like just really like not even looking at the phone, not like just letting the day like just flow, and I don't do this every day, of course not. Like I'm it's really important to plan, it's really important to, own your day, own your mornings and stuff like that, and have everything on track. But something is so freeing about just having a juice for me, and just like, just having a juice and just chilling and just reading and relaxing. And that to me is like a me day, just to not even think about, oh, that's it, it's 4 o'clock, I have to go do this, I have to go run that errand, like not even thinking about it, like, oh, do I want to eat lunch now? Okay, I'll eat lunch now, like, like just kind of not thinking about like time, not letting time rule me. So like, think about something in your life right now that maybe you do already, or maybe you want to add to your routine, that it's just for you, it doesn't have to be normal. It doesn't have to be something that other people approve of or other people even do. Like for me, I love dancing in the morning, and I'm really silly when I do it, but like I love it, I enjoy it, and I do it for me, you know. So like rose quartz, it's all about like really being good to yourself. You know, the more you invest in yourself, the kinder you are, you know, to yourself, to others. Like you're gonna have that like attitude of gratitude. You're just gonna have that like momentum. It's just gonna be a domino effect, you know. Because if you're not feeling good about your looks, like the way that you look, the way that you feel, you know, you wanna make sure that you're feeling great. And like another thing too is for me, like if I'm happy with the way that I look, like is it, am I trying, you know, because I have curly hair, right? But for the longest time I used to straighten it, and you know I always thought that you know, other people liked me better with straight hair or whatever, right? Like you do things, you know, to, and for me it's just like I love like not having to have that like high maintenance activity of like straightening my hair for like a half an hour a day, you know. And also it's damaging, and also like it's not natural. Like I have natural curls, right? So like, you know, like think about like things that you do, you know, like are you doing this for yourself, are you doing this for others? You know, is it an old limiting belief? You know, is it just something that you got so tangled up with that, you know, it was so familiar, but it's not really serving you anymore? Like just because you do things a certain way for so many years, and it's drilled in your mind and it's familiarity doesn't mean good. Like I always have to tell myself that familiarity doesn't mean good. Like it doesn't mean that it's good. Just because it's familiar, it doesn't mean that it's good. Like I see a lot of people say that, like, well, I've been doing this my whole life. All right, well, how's that going? Like you obviously aren't happy with it. So just because you have history with it, you know, you're used to it, you identify with it, it's part of you, that doesn't mean that you can't like let that go. So yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think about rose quartz. What are some ways that you can, you know, incorporate rose quartz and more self-care, self-love rituals, you know, into your routine and things like that. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram at LifeStone USA, and subscribe and like. And until the next time, peace and gratitude.